She's the #1 ranked fighter in all of Minecraft history. She's so good, she beat the legendary player Clown Pierce 100-0. And if you ever said anything negative about her, you were instantly banned and blacklisted. But all of this recently came crashing down with new bombshell information. Marlow would respond with a 2-hour video clearing their name. But just a month later, even more information came out. And most shockingly of all, with the most recent information, Marlow is being accused of catfishing for years, pretending to be a girl for extra clout, admiration, and fanatical defenders, all while being blacklisted by the entire community years ago under a different name. This is how they managed to do it, and how it all eventually got exposed.
All I'm gonna say is, all of it's real. All of it. All of it.
This all started around 2020 when the Minecraft PvP community created MCTiers, which would evolve into the place to go for competitive Minecraft players. Shockingly, over a year ago, a YouTuber would expose this entire scandal, and nobody believed him. It wasn't until 3 months ago that the creator critically uploaded this video, The Art of Deception, Marlow, and kickstarted everything. Now he explains the main issue with MCTiers, which is essentially it doesn't use a typical rating system like many other games, which really accurately pinpoints your exact skill level. Instead, they rely on basically winging it. Can you beat this player? Okay, you can. I'll judge how good you are and give you a rank. Basically the equivalent of beat this guy in my clan in a 1v1 and you get to join. And at the very top, in nearly every single game mode, was Marlow.
At the highest level, only one player can hold the top rank in a kit. That makes tiers like low tier 1 or high tier 1 not just tough, but exclusive. Because of this, tier lists depend on 3 things: fair testers, a neutral system, and player integrity. Each kit is like a whole different game, with different mechanics, clicking styles, movement, and keybinds, which is why most top players specialize in a specific game mode instead of dominating everything at once. Take a look at what Crystal PvP gameplay looks like. Do you see how it involves left clicking with your sword, swapping to your obsidian and placing it, then going to your crystals and alternating your left and right clicks? Now compare this to UHC, where you have to swap between so many items while blocking your shield and all sorts of stuff. And for our player Marlow, she has to be able to do this for 8 kits simultaneously, because I forgot to mention the biggest part. Just because you are low tier 1 or high tier 1 doesn't exempt you from having to duel other people for their tier test. That's right, Marlow is tier 1 skill at everything at the same time, which shouldn't be possible.
This of course grew Marlow's YouTube channel exponentially, becoming a massive figure in the community. I can't emphasize enough how much of an icon in the community Marlow was. So many people looked up to her, especially being a girl as the #1 Minecraft PvPer. It was inspirational, a once-in-a-generation talent. But now we need to look at all the evidence that Critically brought to the table, because even though this was the first initial video, there appeared to be a good amount of evidence.
This clip shows Legendary's high tier 1 test against Marlow in SMP. As you can see, she pros on him and then no look 180 disables him, which is common signs of hitboxes, where it makes the opponent's hitbox look bigger. Okay, maybe you could have said that was client-sided, but this time Legendary pros onto Marlow and she does the exact same thing. Also, in the whole fight, she never missed a shield disable, and you can't say she missed a shield disable if she still hit him with the sword. This one's actually fresh and been brought to my attention. But look at this. Like, she just flies 3 blocks? Even Floatives thought that was suspicious that he starts checking her ping. Next, we have the Piggears Diamond Pot fight, where Marlow not only cheats by using aim assist, but also trigger bot while eating. Okay, some could say she has high sense, but this is not high sense, because after every single hit, she flicks away for no reason just to flick back onto him. And no, she's not styling on him, because she lost this fight 30-12. Finally, we have the clip from this fight with Marlow against Swite, where Marlow clearly spazzes out because she's trying to pot, but her aim assist is trying to hit Swite, causing her to throw her pots around. And I was actually able to recreate this when I fought a hacker on MCPvP, and they do the exact same thing, trying to hit me while they are potting.
Now, Critically would ask Swipe what he thought about this footage. Surprisingly, he would justify it.
Dude,
Swipe, let's go pod.
her tweaking out was her giving up, bro. Please use your brain.
Let's go pod.
Please use your brain, bro.
And this seemed to be the opinion of a lot of people, explaining away every single clip with some sort of justification. But of course, more stuff was about to come out. And I'm saving the most damning evidence for a little later. But it's still important to acknowledge that maybe the majority of people didn't think this. Maybe they were simply too scared to step out of line and the punishment that would follow.
And that's what's wrong with the PvP community. Everyone's brainwashed by Marlow. And if you speak against her, something happens. I think Grewicka, I hope I said your name right, puts it best. He says, I want to go ahead and point out the part of the reason that cheaters can't be punished is because they are inherently afraid of the malicious gossip rule you enabled against spawn player. I've had conversations with several top players who can't freely express their opinions and aid in cheaters getting removed from the list out of fear of losing what work they've put in because they are confident enough to speak up. And this is actually true, because after watching the fight with Cray vs Marlow, I said in the vanilla tier list general that Marlow cheats, and I got perm banned for destructive behavior. Like, we aren't catching people who cheat or ult, but I'm permanently banned from all the discords and MCTiers for saying someone cheats. That's just a crazy power trip.
This was exactly the point I was gonna make. We all know if you've delved on Reddit or certain Discord servers, the amount of power hungry and power tripping mods is genuinely insane.
And it's not just Marlow, it's the community Marlow has built up around her. For example, I posted this under Marlow's replies saying about how she cheats, and instantly 2 people posted this, and it's backed up by so many people in the community. It's like they don't even think for themselves and don't even stop to question authority.
Now again, the community was very split, but this video from Critical would completely open the floodgates into this conversation. But soon, even more people would get involved in this scandal, including some of the best aimers in the world dissecting Marlow's gameplay frame by frame. But even more importantly, Marlow actually responded to these allegations, and Reefwon, a creator, responded to that with this video.
Drdonut then began to spout rumors and factually incorrect information that would lead people to believe that I'm a closet cheater.
And dude, I just mean, listening to this, is this not just the most obvious voice changer of all time? Come on.
Is it right there? Did you see that, chat? Okay, look at the anchors in her hotbar.
The specific detail was actually caused by a performance mod that updates the in-game HUD at a lower frame rate.
And Reefwon would rip apart this argument, detail by detail, with "Call Me Maybe" playing in the background. This is just savage. But not only that, he got in touch with the developer of the tool Marlow claims they were using, and the developer doesn't think it's possible either. Now, Marlow would release this 2-hour response looking to clear their name. And I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of parallels to Dream here, because Marlow ends up hiring a forensic analysis team to go through her computer and prove there's no hacks. Okay, yeah, but first of the proof was Marlow playing with a hand cam. Now, Marlow may have thought this would be enough to get everyone off the subject, but a YouTube group would actually hire professional aim trainers, meaning these are some of the best aimers in the entire world at video games, and they would analyze this footage compared to the normal footage of Marlow playing, and this is what they found.
So main thing first, she never overflicks, and when she does, she clicks in perfect timing, so the overflick doesn't matter. That doesn't make any sense. Secondly, horrible posture for aiming. Her mouse is near the edge of the mouse pad. I'm assuming that everyone who's gonna watch a video on accusations is gonna understand basic aiming. I don't know, bro. Yeah, okay, buddy. Like, either she frame skipped this or she just didn't make an adjustment at all in like a frame. That doesn't make any sense, bro. Oh my god, that's a 1 frame adjustment. You just showed me the greatest player. Get her on Sentinels. I want you to understand, on her sense, that is the equivalent of like moving down 1 centimeter on your mouse pad perfectly.
I see what you mean now.
But now we have to look at the most concrete evidence of cheating, right before we see how this all unfolds.
She just is straight up a cheater. No, wait, where was it? It wasn't there. Is it right there? Did you see that, chat? Okay, look at the anchors in her hotbar.
The specific detail that Drdonut was accusating me for was actually caused by a performance mod that updates the in-game HUD at a lower frame rate in return for better performance in other areas.
Marlow initially claimed that her hotbar skip was due to exordium. Luckily, high IQ players investigated this and found it to be impossible due to her enchanklet not matching the frame rate that would have been required on exordium for the hotbar skip to occur. Okay, so basically when you're on exordium, like I am right now, by default your crosshair becomes fully white, so it's no longer see-through, and this remains constant even if you switch the GUI. Both Marlow and the head developer for MCTiers abandoned their original argument claiming exordium was responsible. When you're not exordium, so when you only have these two mods, I'll show you guys. Okay, so now we're no longer in exordium, only have fabric and default stuff, and as we can see our crosshair now changes color depending on the background, which is not the case with exordium. Okay, now let's take a look at what Marlow's crosshair looks like. Marlow and EO were both unable to recreate her gameplay using any of the defenses they presented. However, I was able to do so immediately with cheats, suggesting them as the cause of the skip. Whenever she did not have a hotbar skip, her anchors were much slower. I ended up reaching out to one of the largest Minecraft cheat YouTubers who confirmed my suspicions. Many cheats have a feature called silent swapping. It works by doing item swaps and interactions within one tick, allowing you to place or interact with an item you never held. It works for every item and is identical to Marlow's anchors. Every single cheat developer that was asked about their opinion all stated that Marlow was a cheater. Not that this proves anything, but it's a bit suspicious that every single expert on cheats believes her to also be a cheater. If we start frame counting from the moment Marlow selects an anchor, or glowstone in the case of skips, we find this dataset. Skipped anchors are around 3.3 times more consistent and on average about 24% faster than their non-skip counterparts. If we are to believe that these anchor skips occur naturally, then why is she 3 times more consistent and 24% faster? This only indicates one thing in my opinion, the fact that she's using a cheat. Hotbar skips are not possible in vanilla Minecraft. Marlow has had over a year to explain why this happened, yet only cheats explain it. Think about it like this, if she truly was innocent, that means that she accidentally gave the wrong explanation, still can't explain what happened over a year later, and broke how vanilla Minecraft runs, all while maintaining statistically impossible frame counts. Her being innocent also implies that her gameplay just happens to be identical to silent swapping, purely by coincidence.
Now this is the last piece of evidence we get before a banned player from MCTiers would release a bunch of information and completely transform this entire scandal. Initially, he uploaded this video over a month ago going over all of the standard corruption that we see in MCTiers. But just recently, this entire scandal took a crazy twist when he would upload this video making the accusation that Marlow was a catfish.
You might have seen a handful of videos about this topic, such as my last one, where I vented my frustrations about the current competitive Minecraft scene and covered a lot of accusations made against Marlow. With this, I will be going over Marlow's true identity, how it was pulled off, and who was involved and helped pull off this multiple year run of fraudulency and mass manipulation. A few days ago, someone joined my server claiming to have hard proof against Marlow, the #1 Minecraft player. I didn't see it at first, but my staff were intrigued and asked him some questions. He gave a massive story that my staff and I all agreed on to be too much to just make up. I added him because I was intrigued, and when we called, I was completely shocked at what I was shown. This is Marlow's true identity. Meet Danger Mario. He was known in the vanilla Crystal PvP community in 2019 and 2020 for being skilled, although while cheating, being a very, very good manipulator, as well as he would typically go on alternate accounts and inside people in order to grief their bases. This was mainly what he was known for at the time. Mario pretty much abandoned most of his life in order to put his complete focus on this Marlow persona of his, and it paid off drastically. He has made an insane amount of money. That said, this is extremely fucked up and immoral. The level of social engineering and mass manipulation that has taken place over these past few years that we are only now catching wind of is completely unreal. Mario was able to fool everyone as a girl because he always had a naturally high-pitched voice, and with a slight change of tone, was able to easily get away with it. The reason he did this was because he noticed that it was very easy for women to get popular in the community because of the envy and special attention they would receive simply just for standing out, as the majority of people in the Minecraft community are male, as you can tell by my viewership stats. We could see this play a part with the Marlow defenders blindly defending him and calling people who are accusing him, or her as far as they know, sexist.
One of the craziest things about this situation is people were actually making the connection that Marlow was Danger Mario years ago, but no one believed them.
Wait, so how do you guys know that Marlow's a girl?
She has her voice in some videos, and I talked to her in 2021.
Okay. Hey, wouldn't it be real funny if you guys were all just getting trapped? You guys were all getting like catfish.
To round the video up, Danger, or Marlow, as we have known him for so many years, is an extremely sick individual, and the lengths he has gone to in order to manipulate the community for his own gain are so ridiculously absurd that I cannot help but feel for so many of you who looked up to MCTiers and enjoyed playing on the tier list, seeing as your owner and #1 player that you've known for so long is a complete fraud. Something that seriously caught my attention is Marlow and ItzRealMe's friendship. I really hope that after this video we can learn something about it, because this just does not look right at all. Take a look.
In the #2 position, we have her willingness to help. Marlow's always willing to help me, no matter what. I find it really admirable. Marlow's truly the best person I have ever met. I hope we remain friends forever. I love her so much. She makes my life so much better. Yeah, I mean, I saw the conversation. The conversation happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It just seems manipulative as fuck. I don't know.
Bro, how am I supposed to know?
Be honest, bro. Come on.
Wow, this makes me feel really bad for ItzRealMe. He seems like such a nice, wholesome dude, completely unaware that this could be one of the most insane catfishing moments ever.
Listen, bro, disregard the friendship, disregard everything. Look at the evidence presented to you. This may not even be the person that you knew, dead ass.
All I'm gonna say is, all of it's real. All of it. 100%. Really? Yes. There's not a singular doubt in my mind at all. 100% proven. All of it 100% lines up. There's not a doubt in my mind. Not zero doubt in my mind. I've been talking to a fake person for 5 years. Constantly. I can't believe it. I feel like I'm not the type of person to get scammed or to get manipulated like that. Isn't that so? Yesterday I was live, and the reason I didn't want to look at it is because the one video I watched of proof that she's cheating was just so stupid. The proof wasn't good at all, and the clips of Marlow talking with the AI voice just seemed so fake. And I don't know if he did that on purpose to try to as evidence or for something. I don't know, but all of it's real. Marlow's not the best PvPer. It's ItzRealMe. That's insane this whole time. By the way, I don't think Marlow would have been as big as she is now if it wasn't for me. I honestly don't think. I mean, that might be a big ego for myself, but anyone that watched me from 2022 to 23, or maybe to even early 24, I don't know. I always talked so positively about Marlow. I wanted to promote her as the #1 PvPer, but just because she was so nice and I thought she deserved it, I wanted to help her. I didn't know that the whole time I was manipulated into doing that, into helping out somebody who had a goal, whose overall goal was to just make money and become powerful. The thing is, Default was warning me about this since 2023. People knew that this was the case. People knew that Marlow was Danger Mario, but she sort of wiggled her way out of that and proved the allegations wrong by trying to cancel me. Marlow definitely, or Danger Mario definitely had a goal to get me out of the community. Danger Mario recommended me to stop streaming through Marlow, obviously. I'll just say Marlow. Marlow recommended me to stop streaming. Marlow recommended me to, stop streaming and try to learn to code over a year ago. She spread super exaggerated drama about me behind the scenes with other PvP creators like Sharpness. The reason I sort of had beef with Sharpness is because I think Marlow tried to convince Sharpness that I was a bad person, and then I heard one message from Sharpness where he said, the thing about Sharpness is that Sharpness said, oh, I knew Donut was like that about something that was so minuscule and useless, and that made me not like Sharpness. But Sharpness, I don't know, Marlow had a goal to get me out of the comm, and I didn't like Sharpness because of Marlow. Oh, it's so weird, bro. I need to add Sharpness back, bro. He did nothing wrong. He was just manipulated as well. But Holy, bro. Holy, it's crazy.
Marlow has responded to all of these new allegations on Discord, saying to wait for their next video, which will explain everything. But I mean, so many in the community are devastated at this revelation, but so many still have hope that Marlow is legit. The number 3 ranked player, or now the number 2 ranked player, seems to be memeing with this whole situation, but I really want to know what you think in the comments down below. Please don't let the entire comment section be the dumbest people who watch the video. I really look forward to the intellectual, productive discussion on this topic. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think should happen? And I'll see you in the next one.